Disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. These are the three different words that I can think of when I want to express myself regarding this particular machine that I've got right over here. Usually I don't like to bring bad news here to the channel, but I love tech and I hate when some manufacturer has in his hands great hardware and then develops a product that it's below fair, if I can say so, or below acceptable, which is probably even worse. And I would also like to add that unfortunately there are people out there stating that this machine is a great machine. And what I would like to add right over here is, if you hear someone that's stating that this is a good machine, a great machine, just because it has 4 gigabytes of RAM, the top of the line Rockchip SoC and 32 gigs of storage, that person doesn't know shit of what he's talking about regarding this type of device. Now guys, having all that in mind and trying to be as fair as possible with this box, with this brand, as I do with every single machine that I touch, I will share with you the whole review so that you can check out what works and what doesn't work. But in my opinion, and the spoiler alert, if you want to stay right over here on the video, is this at this moment in time, it's not worth our time, it's not worth our money, especially having in consideration the price, which you can check it out, and it's not cheap. Having that in mind, guys, if you want to waste a few more minutes, then I'll see you in a few seconds. And here we are back with the Yundoo Y8, and starting as always with the unboxing experience. As you guys can see on screen, pretty usual unboxing. I will leave as usual on the left side of the screen the contents of the package. Now moving on to the closer look of that machine, in terms of the build quality for a 100 above euros, this is a cheap plasticky, so don't expect too much from it. In terms of connectivity, I will leave on the left side of the screen as well, so that you guys can see for yourself what it has and what it doesn't. Now moving along to the remote controller. This remote controller, it's a infrared remote control, so expect a poor performance, especially if you want to do more with your box. As usual, what I advise is to get, with any Android TV box, not only with this one, a wireless remote. So I will leave links down below in the video description so that you can see remote controls that can cost low as $5 to $30, something like that, but you will have a great experience. Now moving on to the launcher itself, I don't see anything new over there. This is the type of launcher that we usually find on this type of box. What I do is I install always a custom launcher available on the Google Play Store. At this moment I'm using the Zen UI launcher, which I personally like it, and that's the way that I like to enjoy my TV boxes. Now in terms of online updates, this machine has the button, but they don't work so far, so I could not test it out. Moving on to the specifications, as you guys can see on screen, this machine has some really great specifications. It has the top of the line SoC from Rockchip, has 4 gigabytes of RAM, which I've made a video a few weeks ago regarding RAM. So you can check that video to discover more on my opinion and real world performance tests with 2 gigabytes and 3 gigabytes of RAM machines, but more on that on those videos. Now in terms of specifications, you have had the time to see, but 4 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of flash storage. It has and that's why I stated that this machine had a great potential, but they turned it into a paperweight almost. But in terms of hardware, they have a really great hardware over there. Now moving to the benchmarks, as you guys can see on screen, once again this machine delivers great results, and probably because of these results, some reviewers, not all fortunately, state that this machine is one of the best machines on the market, when it's not, because it's not able to deliver as we wanted it to deliver, which we will see soon. But as you can see, on disk speed, really nice results. Wi-Fi was the lowest results. Don't use this box over Wi-Fi, it's my advice. If you are going to use this box, don't use Wi-Fi. Then the results are in line for this kind of SoC, which are really great results in terms of benchmarks. But guys, I'm not going to do benchmarks all day. I want to enjoy TV, I want to enjoy games, and so on and so forth. And talking about that, let's move on to the real world performance of this particular machine. Now starting with Netflix, as usual on my tests, for this type of box, as usual, we will be able to play up to SD quality of 480p, which is nothing special, but it works well. And then if we go to YouTube, this was my first disappointment, and a huge disappointment. Any machine that costs 20 to 30 30 euros or dollars, whatever, pounds, is able to do this, and a machine that costs 120 euros at this moment, it's not able to play YouTube well. As you can see on the images, the frame rate is really low, it stutters a lot, it's not a pleasant experience, it's really bad. And I'm a YouTube consumer on my Android TV boxes. This is one thing that I use, so this machine can't deliver. This was my big first disappointment with this particular machine, because I really use YouTube. Now after that I did test out the Kodi version installed, which is it's not Kodi, it's Kodi Fork TVMC, which comes installed. It's based on Kodi 16.3 and works well for the most part, and so on and so forth. But guys, we are using Kodi 17 at this moment, to be more precise, 17.3, and I did install it on this machine like I do on every single machine, and when I see the results, I can't play a movie. If you take a look at your left side of the screen, I will post some results over there, but really quickly, 4K 10 bits I can't play on Kodi 17.3 at all. It doesn't play at all. 4K 8 bits audio out of sync.
Look, Celia, we have to follow our passions. You have your robotics and I just want to be awesome in space.
Why don't you just admit that you're freaked out by my robot hand?
I'm not freaked out by it. Alright, fine. I'm freaked out. I'm having nightmares.
1080p movies audio out of sync. My old library, my old movie library, are Blu-ray MKV files at 1080, and I can't play one movie without having the audio out of sync. Come on guys, this is a 120 euros box, top of the line Rockchip sock, and so on and so forth, and I will not mention the rest because you have on the left side of the screen. But this is a really bad experience for an expensive device like this. There are boxes, once again, a lot cheaper, and I'll post some links down below that will outperform this machine in terms of media playback. And you guys might say, the brand, especially the brand, or Rockchip might say, hey Robert, the Kodi version 17, it's not optimized for this version, that's why we have the 16.3 based version. And I say, why? People are using at this moment Kodi 17, why didn't you grab a version of Kodi 17 and then optimize it for this version until Kodi gets updated with whatever they need to update to be optimized for this machine? So if you haven't got things ready, please do not send to the public, because people will not like to have a really bad experience. Now, I did not pay for this machine, but it's my opinion that people should not buy it, because they will have a really bad experience, especially for those of you that are want to go to the Play Store, want to be free to choose the player that they want to use and watch the movies how they want to use, how they want to watch. So guys, sorry that I appear a bit anxious, but this is something that touches me a lot. When it's something that it's really, I don't know, small, a mistake here and a mistake there, I do understand. But when a machine is advertised so as true 4K, like the others are not true 4K, and then 4 gigabytes of RAM and so on and so forth, and then doesn't deliver, gets me a bit pissed off. And sorry about that, not with you, but with this kind of brand that just wants to sell, and this is it. Now, moving to the gaming side of things, I did install a few games, and as you can see on screen, in terms of gaming, I had no issue on the Android platform. I was able to play with Asphalt Extreme, okay, no problems at all. GT Racing 2, I was not even able to start the game because, as you can see on screen over there, it doesn't allow me to write my own name. Now, this is a firmware situation. I tried to write with the keyboard. I did disconnect the keyboard, connected a wireless mouse. I did everything possible to try and play that game. It doesn't allow me to move from that step forward, which is a big issue once again. So my idea here, guys, is that this machine has the hardware capable of doing everything, but it doesn't do anything because it has a lot of these issues. And expect, guys, those of you that unfortunately already got this box, expect to have more issues when you try other apps, and that will be really bad. Now, I also tried Respawnables, but at the moment the servers of Respawnables, which is an online game, was down, so I could not played the game to test it out if it was okay or not. I do believe that it's possible to play the game because the hardware once again is there. It's just the firmware that from time to time will give us this really bad experience. Now I moved ahead to the game stream experience, and there I had a pleasant experience. As you guys can see on screen, Grid Autosport playing through game stream, which is something, for those of you that don't know, just browse my channel. I've got a lot of tutorials there. It works great in terms of game stream. I also played with gas guzzlers, and the experience was also really nice. So at least something that I could enjoy myself doing game stream. But for those of you that want a box just for game stream, yeah, you can use this one. But I also reviewed machines 30 euros or $30 with the AM Logic S905 that can do the same experience in terms of game stream. I'm happy at one point, but it's not enough. Now lastly, as always, I did test out the AirPlay capability using the AirPin Pro app, which is a premium app, one of my favorite ones. And as you can see on screen, the experience is not as pleasant as I want, and this is something that we use a lot here at home, as you guys know that follow the channel. And although it's not bad at all, it's not the best experience. I've tried worst, but I've tried a lot better, and in my particular case, which is something that we use, this type of experience is not good enough for me. We have some stuttering on the images, sometimes it stops. The audio is okay, it's only on the image side of things that we get these type of issues, and I cannot recommend this machine in terms of AirPlay as well. So guys, getting into the conclusion, what I can say at this moment, and I don't know the future, if they release a firmware that fixes all this, then probably this will be a machine to consider once again. But until then, I cannot recommend this machine to anyone that wants to use YouTube, as simple as that. Someone that wants to use Kodi latest version, Kodi 17, like I do, 17.3 at this moment, or someone that wants to play games or use other apps without having the risk of not being able to use, like we saw on GT Racing 2, which was an example, it just happened. I did test out that game, and unfortunately that experience happened. This will be possible with other apps. That being said, guys, I'm really sorry to be the one bringing bad news to you, but I would avoid this box. You will have much better experience, and once again I will leave some links down below of machines that I've used, far cheaper than this one and with a great performance. I was just recording a video, and sorry that I will bring this to this video, but I was recording a video about the machine, the X8H Plus, which was updated yesterday to Lollipop 5.1.1. It is a machine from 2014 and we are in 2017, and this one is performing better than a 2017 machine. So this is not good for this brand, not good for me, not good for the users, not good especially for those of you that have bought this machine. And I'm sorry for you guys that already have. If you can send them back and ask for a refund, ask for another machine, do it, because in my opinion, I may be totally wrong, and if I am, just leave down below on the comment section why. If I'm right, then leave it why. And if you have already a box like this, please share down below in the comment section what you feel about it. And for those of you that don't, just feel free to write whatever you want to write, as always, on any of my videos. Guys, that being said, hopefully this video will be helpful in some way, and if it is, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.